Hello everyone, I hope you're doing okay. In this video, I'm talking about the natural anxiety treatment alternative to Valium. So for anyone that doesn't know what Valium is, it's part of a class of drugs called benzodiazepines. They often come under other labels. They all do slightly different things, but Xanax, diazepam might be labels that you've heard depending on where you're based. But in this video, I'm talking about what you can do as an alternative to that. So full disclosure, I'm not a medical practitioner. I recommend that if you're looking to take any medication, get a prescription, or to make any alternative changes to medication, make sure you're consulting with a medical practitioner to get independent advice. This is just my personal opinion. I do have a psychology master's, so I do have some understanding of psychobiology, but I won't be recommending any medication in this video. But the reason I wanted to talk about it is because there are a lot of parallels between specifically this medication, as I see it, and tools that you can implement yourself to get the same result in order to treat anxiety. And I'm going to specifically focus on the alternative use for things like Valium. So often Valium, or these class of drugs, are often prescribed to people who have muscle spasms. So to prescribed as a therapeutic effect of being a muscle relaxant, which is very interesting because it also then has benefits for mental health, for anxiety. So the reason why this happens is because the drug, at least temporarily, calms the nervous system, so you feel physically more relaxed in your body. So when the body is feeling physically relaxed, obviously, if got a muscle spasm, that helps with that. But if your body is feeling physically relaxed, then your mind is also going to feel relaxed. And that's the part I specifically want to hone in on in this video. Problem with things like Valium or these drugs is that their effect is short term and they do have nasty side effects, withdrawal effects, particularly over time. They can be addictive as well, so it can ultimately put more pressure on the nervous system as your brain and nervous system starts to sort of crave or have that need in order to find relief. So the good news is that there is something you can do to self-soothe to get the same effect. So when we learn to soothe our own nervous system through physical relaxation, then we're effectively getting the same effect without any of the negative side effects. So it's interesting. We often think about anxiety as being a problem with the brain, although wired wrong. I've got some sort of brain dysfunction, the chemical imbalance, all that sort of stuff. But in actual fact, all we are experiencing with anxiety and panic and all the related conditions is a really tired nervous system, an overly sensitized nervous system that has got into this highly sensitized, highly hypervigilant state over many weeks, months, and years. And so paradoxically, the key is not necessarily just to try and fix your brain, it's actually to calm the nervous system down through the use of the body, through relaxing muscles, doing a mental body scan, breathing slower, to then step out of this reactivity, this flight or fight response that we experience over and over again that gets us locked into worrying about different anxiety triggers, different situations that we're encountering, health anxieties, work anxieties, family anxieties, because of this overactive system. I often ask my clients, would you really be worried about this thing that anxiety has got you locked into, worrying about or ruminating over, if you are feeling physically calm? If there's no adrenaline surging through your body, if there's no stress hormone of cortisol surging through your body, would you really be worried or as worried about this anxiety trigger, the worry that's got you really worked up at the moment? And the answer is always no. It might be hard to see that right now if you're particularly in an anxious state, but I guarantee you, if I could click my fingers and I could get rid of all the anxiety, all the adrenaline, the worry that you currently have wouldn't feel as potent. And we know this because we always get from relief from the anxiety or panic we feel once the adrenaline dissipates which it always will. The body can't keep producing it in the way it does during an anxiety or panic attack. We always get some relief, even if it's for a short period of time. And the body is key to doing that. So if we start to learn to self-soothe, breathe slow and start to relax the body, what we're doing is we're mimicking the effects of these drugs such as Valium. So it's actually really powerful, but instead of just taking a quick fix, which is tempting, but ultimately unhelpful and potentially problematic long term, we're rewiring our brain to change our default response to soothe as opposed to get involved in these worries. So I'll put a link to a video, the first video in my anxiety cure series, which is all about soothing flight, fight, or freeze. If this is resonating with you, where I talk through exactly what we need to do, I encourage you to watch the whole series of videos because I go through different methods to do this soothing approach. I hope that helps. Again, make sure you're getting advice around taking any medication from a qualified practitioner, but I hope that gives you a natural alternative that you can start to practice with right now. I wish you all the very best.